Hey folks, Sheriff Lamb here, Pinal County. 2020 has been quite the year, and while we never know what the future will hold, we want to be prepared. I'm impressed every day by our residents and their willingness to support our agency and the good work my deputies do every day. Often, I'm asked what you can do to help us if we ever need the support. That's why I've created a Citizens Posse, giving people like you the opportunity to learn the basics so you can see the reality of police work. You'll learn the basics of constitutional law, search and seizure, basic firearm safety, home safety, and the use of deadly force. Thank you, be safe, and God bless.
Hello and welcome to the Pinal County Sheriff's Office Citizens Posse class. I'm Sergeant Harrison, and I'm going to be one of three instructors that will be teaching you today. We're going to be covering a multitude of areas to include our introduction on our Citizens Posse. We're going to speak about firearm safety. We're going to speak about home safety, an overview of constitutional law, use of force, and the last thing we'll talk about is search and seizure. Why is everybody here? Well, the reason why we're here is because Citizens Posse is wanting to help you, help your community, and assist your fellow neighbor and make sure that everybody is helping one another in the busy world that we live today. So Citizens Posse, what we're going to be doing, or what you will be doing, is you're going to be assisting in helping your community in the event we have large amount of flooding. We have vulnerable areas in all over Pinal County. Pinal County is approximately 5,374 square miles, so we cover a lot of areas. So we may need different area. We may have people in different areas. So we have flooding in different, predominantly up in the mountains, up near Oracle and San Manuel, and then we also have fires that are up there as well. The Citizens Posse, the sheriff, as what he spoke a few minutes ago, why you're here. He's going to have our Citizens Posse help out with evacuations. It may be a nursing home. It may be helping out with livestock. It may be helping out watching building security. However, the fact is that we can't be everywhere all the time, and the citizens like yourselves are going to be helping out with helping the deputies, and we will do everything we can to support you, and we'll give you guidance should the sheriff call upon you to help serve your community. So let's keep going. So let me talk about why, what things you can and what things you cannot do while you are a Citizens Posse. So Citizens Posse members, they do not have powers of arrest. You can't exceed the speed limit. You cannot do traffic stops. There is no traffic stops. And you cannot install red and blue lights on your vehicle per Arizona Revised Statute 28947B. And when I say Arizona Revised Statutes, I mean the laws within the state of Arizona. There will be others that are outside of the that are going to be watching this video. Those that are not in the state of Arizona, you'll need to adhere to your local jurisdiction and their laws as well. But this only pertains to Pinal County. Our Citizens Posse members won't be issued any equipment. If there is any equipment that will be issued, would be on a day of an event. We would probably, you will be issued fluorescent vests, flashlights, and maybe a radio, and then you'll report to a deputy, a sergeant, or commander for further direction at what you're going to do. And your direct access to any Pinal County Sheriff's Office building, you won't have any. You'll be at the direction of any deputy or any sergeant or any commander to allow access into those buildings and under escort. Our citizens volunteers do not have powers over us, as we said, nor are they authorized to exercise any powers of authority of the sheriff or the sheriff's office. That is left to the sworn side as a peace officer for the state of Arizona. We are expected to act and respond in all situations with the highest level of ethical conduct. All volunteers will follow Pinal County Sheriff's Office mission statements, our code of conduct, our rules and our regulations at all given times. When you are called upon, you are an agent of Pinal County Sheriff's Office, so we expect to act with the full integrity and within all the regulations at all times. And you'll operate within the scope, within the work of your job description, what we have you doing, whether it be traffic control or helping out livestock, whichever the case may be. Volunteers will not endanger life or property through carrier's action or negligence. You cannot possess, you cannot consume any alcoholic beverages, narcotics, prescription medications, or mood-altering substances will not be tolerated while you are on duty. You must be willing to accept these changes in our policies and procedures. You cannot possess weapons, explosives. Any firearms are not permitted on the volunteer's person or in their vehicle at any Sheriff's Office facility during the volunteer's on-the-job duties. You cannot engage in any criminal conduct or activity, any harassing, violence, or behavior of any threatening manner while you're with the Sheriff's Office on its premises or representing us as a Citizens Posse member with the Sheriff's Office. You must respect each other and behave in a respectful manner. You'll follow the instruction of the program director, the program supervisor, project supervisor, scene supervisor, and any command staff that you have to report to. Anything that you see or do, you'll be keeping those items confidential, and information must be kept discreetly amongst yourselves. And while you experience any action with Pinal County Sheriff's Office. Gossip, rumors, or any behavior that promotes or discord or lack of harmony will not be tolerated. Immoral conduct, indecency, misconduct, or insubordination will be grounds for immediate dismissal. Pursuits, chases, and speeding are not allowed. You must be a sworn officer to be able to engage in those types of activities. And don't put yourselves in harm's way. We don't want you to get hurt. We want to assist, but we don't want you to get hurt. And we do not want to put you in any dangerous situations. Should you come in contact with a suspect, don't initiate any problems with them. Let the sheriff's deputies handle that. That being said, let's move forward a little bit. The Pinal County has many layers of support through our volunteers, and at Pinal County we enjoy our volunteers. They are a lifeblood for us because our county is so big, and we need the assistance of all volunteers that can help us. So let's walk through. We have two different categories. We have our volunteers, and then we have our careers. Maybe you too can come full-time or volunteer for the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. So we'll start out with our volunteers. Our first one is our Citizens Patrol Posse. That would be our Citizens on Patrol. We have several groups throughout the county. We have a group in Gold Canyon. We have a group in Santan Valley, one in Arizona City, one in Oracle, and one in Casa Grande. All these volunteers go through a background process. They also go through a field training program as well with their respective folks. We do have a rank structure involved with those, starting at the officer to the sergeant to the lieutenant to the captain and up to the director and then myself. We also have a patrol posse who is governed by Captain Carl Montoya. We do an academy at the very beginning of every year, and we get those guys there. Now, looking back at the Citizens Patrol Posse, let me clarify, they are not an armed unit, but they are wonderful and they sure help us out. Our patrol posse now is an armed unit, and they support the deputies also on the road. They assist in crime scene preservation, transporting of inmates, helping out with any backup a deputy may need. Our reserve deputies are for those that have already been police officers elsewhere and want to come over and they want to support and help us. Those are a sworn unit. Our reserve deputies do take home vehicles, and they support us just as if they were a full-time deputy. They come out and they work with our patrol deputies, our full-time deputies, and they work with them and taking calls for service and taking any other call that any other deputy would take. And then of course you have our search and rescue posse, which is our search and rescue unit is the best in the state. We have helicopters, we have fixed wing aircraft, and that is overseen by Lieutenant Brandy Ralston. If you want to be in touch or want to go to search and rescue, please get in touch with Sergeant Brandy Ralston or Sergeant Doug Peeble. They will be more than happy to assist you in obtaining that status. And of course, every one of these you have to go through background check and get cleared before you can just go volunteer. Now, we have a couple of different areas in the Pinal County Sheriff's Office that you can support on a full-time basis. We have our deputy sheriff cadets. That's why you're in the academy. And then you have your deputy sheriff, and that is a 16 weeks over at the Northern Arizona College that you'll be going through that. And then once you're out of that, then you will come back down here and you'll go through an FTO program. We also have emergency dispatchers, and that's our lifeline on the radio. We expect them, they're very calm on the radios. They help us. They're an amazing group of young women and young men, and they do an amazing job for us. And we also have, because the Sheriff's Office houses all the inmates that are taken into custody throughout Pinal County, we have our detention officers and our detention cadets. And they supervise those inmates while they are in custody pending trial and pending them going off to, if they are remanded, to the Arizona Department of Corrections. So during that time, those dedicated detention officers, they are a great bunch of guys and gals that do an amazing job at what they do, and we respect everything that they do. So if you want to come on over to that, come on over. We also have an administrative group that is coming over. Those are our secretaries, our warrants folks, our records folks, and personnel. Every so often those positions open up, so keep looking on that. What you're going to do with any one of these jobs is you're going to go onto the Pinal County Sheriff's Office website and look for our jobs tab and click on that tab, and that will direct you to the Sheriff's Office jobs of every one of these positions that are out here.